I never thought a beach could change my personality. But apparently, stepping onto a Philippine shore turns a blonde American woman like me into someone who forgets the existence of budgets, sunscreen, and personal space. In the US, beaches are for tanning, listening to productivity podcasts, and pretending your life is organized. In the Philippines, beaches are where you suddenly believe you're a mermaid, a food critic, an honorary cousin of the fisherman's aunt, and the adoptive child of an entire village. My first comparison started before I even touched the water at the parking lot. In America, parking near a beach is like the Hunger Games, except even the losers still pay $20. You either arrive at 7 a.m. sharp or you circle like a frustrated bald eagle until someone leaves. And if you dare park somewhere without a sign, congratulations, your car is now towed and you get a $250 fine along with the privilege of crying in public. But in the Philippines, I didn't even have to find parking. A man waved at me from 200 meters away like I was long-lost family. Ma'am, here, parking here, free po, free po. I thought it was a scam. I was convinced he was going to kidnap me, but no, he was honestly just helping me park. And then he offered to help carry my bag, which was extremely light, but he carried it like it contained government secrets. Then he pointed to a cottage by the beach and said, "Only 150 pesos, ma'am." Good for a whole day. I did the conversion, $3. $3 for an entire cottage with a roof, a table, chairs, and the emotional support of knowing my belongings would be watched by 10 aunties. In the US, I once paid $40 to rent a folding chair. A single folding chair. It wasn't even comfortable. My spine still has trauma. Anyway, I walked down the sand expecting the typical American beach experience. People quietly reading, children smearing sunscreen on their parents, maybe a lifeguard who looks like he quit caring in 2009. Instead, on a Philippine beach, I was greeted by locals cooking on a grill, a group playing volleyball with the intensity of the Olympics, a karaoke machine screaming Celine Dion, and several dogs that looked like they owned the beach. I had been there for 12 seconds and already 3 people smiled at me like I was their niece. In America, smiling at strangers is suspicious. In the Philippines, not smiling back makes you look like a villain. One tita immediately approached me and asked, "Ma'am, where are you from?" I told her I was American. She nodded like she already knew. Then she pointed to my hair and said, "Yes, Kazi blonde." Then she made me sit in the shade because you will burn faster than Talia. I didn't even argue. She was correct. Then came the food. In the US, beach food options are simple. Overpriced ice cream, a hot dog that tastes like vacuum-sealed regret, and maybe a smoothie that costs your dignity. Meanwhile, in the Philippines, I was aggressively fed like it was a competitive sport. A teenage boy walked up to me with a tray and said, "Ma'am, you want mango?" Before I even finished saying yes, a tita sliced it, plated it, and sprinkled something magical on top. I swear that mango wasn't grown. It was blessed. Then a fisherman offered fresh sea urchin. Another guy offered grilled squid. Someone's grandma handed me rice wrapped in banana leaves. At this point, I wasn't sure if I was on a beach or inside a very generous family reunion where everyone secretly adopted me. Meanwhile, at American beaches, you bring your own food or you starve. If you ask someone to share their chips, you will be sued. After eating enough to power a small village, I decided to try swimming. This is where the Philippines wins again. The water was so clear I could see my own thoughts. Fish swam around me like I was Snow White, except hotter and confused. In the US, the water is usually cold enough to make you reevaluate your life choices. The only thing swimming happily is seaweed, and don't get me started on activities. In America, you can surf or paddleboard, both of which require upper body strength, a thing I do not possess. In the Philippines, there were floating cottages, banana boats, snorkeling spots, mermaid tail rentals. Yes, I tried one. No, you may not judge. And a man offering island hopping tours like he was announcing breaking news. And then, of course, there's the price. In the US, a simple boat ride is $90. In the Philippines, it's 1,500 pesos for the whole boat, the whole day with life vests, water, photos, and a captain who tells jokes. At one point, he dove into the water, grabbed a sea cucumber, handed it to me, and said, "For your picture." Ma'am! We laughed, we bonded, we became best friends for exactly 47 minutes. After hours of swimming and pretending to be part of a National Geographic documentary, I returned to the cottage only to find that my things were exactly where I left them, because 3 aunties and 2 uncles had apparently taken turns guarding them. One tita even said, "Ma'am, I chased a dog who sniffed your bag. What kind of VIP treatment was this?" In the US, someone steals your flip-flops and leaves you one mismatched sandal as a warning. Then came the highlight of the day. The Perkin guy, yes, the one who initially waved like my long-lost cousin, returned holding a plastic bag. "For you, ma'am." Mango, free, just because. No reason. And that's when I realized, in the US, you pay $20 for parking. In the Philippines, you get parking, a cottage, bodyguards, lunch, entertainment, a water tour, and free mangoes. At this point, I was convinced that staying in America all these years was a financial mistake. As the sun set, the sky turned pink, orange, and drama queen purple. In the US, people take pictures quietly. In the Philippines, people run, pose, make heart hands, jump, and even bring out ring lights. A group of titas took selfies with me like I was a tourist attraction as someone yelled, "1, 2, smile, po." And I did because by this point I had accepted my fate. I was now the blonde foreigner who would appear in several Filipino family Facebook albums with captions like, "New friend from beach." I didn't mind, because something magical happens on a Philippine beach. You don't just relax, you become part of a temporary beach family. You eat until you ascend spiritually, you laugh until your ribs hurt, you tan accidentally, and you go home smelling like sunscreen, salt water, and barbecued dreams. When I finally packed up to go home, the same man helped me carry my bag again. "Come back next time, ma'am," he said. I told him I definitely would, and I meant it. Because when I compared Philippine beaches to US beaches, the winner was very obvious. It wasn't even close. In the US, you get sand, cold water, and a $20 parking bill. In the Philippines, you get sun, warm water, new friends, fresh seafood, island hopping, karaoke, a cottage, a tita worrying about your sunburn, 2 stray dogs adopting you, and the sweetest mangoes known to mankind. If that's not a win, I don't know what is. And that, my friends, is how a blonde American woman discovered that Philippine beaches are not just beaches. They are full-day events fueled by food, hospitality, chaos, and mangoes. So many mangoes. Enough mangoes to make me consider moving here permanently, marrying a fisherman, and living my best island life. And maybe I will. But for now, I'll end this day the same way every Filipino beach day ends, slightly sunburned, extremely full, emotionally adopted by strangers, and promising myself I'll return with a bigger appetite and more SPF. And yes, next time I'm bringing a bigger stomach. And maybe a karaoke microphone. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this little adventure, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.